Shalom, shalom. Another video, giving all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Bashim Kakadash, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahushai, double honors to the apostles, elders, bishops, great millstone, much salutations to the brothers teaching word for the hopeful elect, soon to be elect, most high will. Fairly quick video, hopefully it's edifying, kind of land backing, Pastor Tahar, showing this guy saying that we don't fall under the curses of Deuteronomy 28 and 50, 53, saying that, which says, "And thou shalt eat the fruit of thine own body, the flesh of thy sons and of thy daughters, which the Lord thy God hath given thee in the siege, and in the straitness wherein thy enemy shall distress thee." And, a lot of times when so-called black people talk, even history, they relate to only American grounds, and they don't go into the history back when, during the time when we were captive under these other nations. They don't even believe that, we were a nation to exist, and the truth that we're Jews and we're that nation that Deuteronomy is talking about. So they relate a lot of subject matters to only what happened in America. So, like Apostle was saying, we were captive in Assyria, of course Babylon, and Greek captivity and the Roman captivity. During the Roman time, we were besieged and drawn. It said we flee to the Masada Mountains, and they surrounded us. Basically, another meaning of besiege. Well, let me get that word right quick. Besiege definition: surround with armed forces in order to capture it or force its surrender, lay siege to. Surround, a mob, encircle. And that's the same thing they're doing today. This is Rome all over again. And where's all the food and necessities that for the so-called Black, Latino, Native American, basically within arm's reach too, like convenience. It's all in the inner cities. So they have a lot of land in America, but it's not occupied. I mean, it's not it's uninhabited because they want everybody controlled in the inner cities. So the famine is going to come again, and guess what Jake gonna do if he don't got no food? I mean, they already, basing having a base diet, so to speak. It's like they eating raccoons and cats and shit, bats, whatever it may be. Abominable foods, especially the swine. But Venezuela had a crisis, and they had cannibalism in their regions, in their land, and there are people. There are people, man. Those are the South Americas, which is where our people dwell heavily too, as well as all across the world. But and for another note, you don't even know what our people are doing in the secret caverns of these so to speak black elites. Just like they follow and model after the elites, and the elites eat babies, man. So you don't know if these celebrities and these other black boule members, these black elite people are eating babies? You haven't done your research about that. And if you do, I'm pretty sure you'll find some disturbing things similar, you know, uh, to these curses. Um, and of course, the yoke of iron. Uh, and of course, the byword. You know, nobody has that stigma but us. That heavy byword label on them like we do. Um, what was I going to get? And um, curse when you come in, and curse. One of the scriptures is curse when you come into this world, and curse when you go out. You know? And our people write songs about that. You know, nobody mourns like Jake. All our songs about mourning, even our happy songs are about mourning. You know, hooked up with a girl and fell in love with her, and now she broke up with me, and I'm still love her, and I'm still trying to get with her, and we had happy times, and we trying to rekindle the good times, and you know, she smiles at me, and we trying to, you know, but it's still sad like a motherfucker because it relates to our curses, man. Nobody has a level of, you know, curses like we do. Uh, but Apostle also mentioned the delectable Negro. Delectable Negro. The delectable Negro. Consumption and homoeroticism within U.S. slave culture. The book explores homoeroticism of both literal and figurative acts of human cannibalism that occurred during slavery in the United States. And you know the so-called white man, he would do that. He would purposely starve us, and you know they have some called mother effer, motherfucker, pretty much, where they put the bag over uh, the son's head and the mother's head and make them have sex with each other. So you best believe they was doing that, making Jake eat his own people and his own children and all that. You got to remember we're dealing with a beast-minded, brute, beast-minded nation, diabolical nation. And you say, and it's another scripture that says, "Fierce nation." Is within that chapter, and he would not regard the person of the young and person of the old. You know, and you know, and even with the curses dealing with the cops, daily basis, you know, trigger happy stories with, you know, talking about the police, hangings. You already know, burnings, great robbery, murder, and you know, what do you call it? What was I gonna say? I lost my thought, man. I hate when I do that, man. Yeah, so all these things that happened to Jake and the father leaving the house, that's in there. Um, Nobody's broken up like we are. That's why we into so many other religions, man. Because we're broken up. We're a broken up people. Oh yeah, I was gonna mention that. You know, you don't see the curses just dealing with even the cops. You don't never see no Moabites arrested. You know, you don't never see. You know they got Moabite mobs out there, and you don't never see Elam arrested in America. You never seen these people handcuffed and taken to jail. The jails are filled with so-called black, Latino, and some white people, so-called white people. and some of them are Jakes. So why is not the curses dealing with some of the main issues with racism, dealing with police brutality, not on these other nations? You'll see a midget get arrested before you will Moab, Elam, and Ham, and the rest of these nations. Uh, so yeah, they don't talk about our past captivities, and the curses and the things that we dealt with. Um, Hell, it was even a famine during the time of Joseph, but he loved his brother and he fed them, wine, corn. He helped his brother, even though they was trying to, put him down in the hole, and you just got to read the story. So even that's a curse. Dealing with our own people as a burden, and some forms of hatred on a high level. It says that in the scriptures, brother shall have an evil eye toward his brother. In that same chapter, nobody shows that on the level that Jake is. That Jake, what Jake is doing. That's why you got such thing as Crips and Bloods. You ain't never heard no Crips and Blood Moabites, even though they are, and which are Jakes. A lot of them are Jakes. Them Polynesians, those Samoans. Some of them was the Jakes. And they dwell in similar neighborhoods, if not neighborly neighborhoods, along with Jake. And they get into gangs just like Jake. They got I forget what they call them, but you know how they got cholas as far as the so-called Latinos and the women. But they got the Moabite chola kind of gang-like activity too, and those most likely are Jakes. So you got to get that straight too. You got to know that our people are scattered among these nations, and some of our people are doing well. Some of our people, going even back to Moses, he said he chose to suffer with his people because they was trying to put Moses in a high seat. Back then during Babylon, Daniel was preferred before presidents and princes. So just because some of our people are doing good, that don't mean we're not those people that went through the curse and still under the curses. And even if you're rich, you still have a plague of the mind. They said, give me any plague but the plague of the mind, because you still could be shot as a Negro. You still got to worry about being rich, worry about getting stopped by the cops because they be like, how did this nigga get this much money? Where you going? And celebrities have even mentioned that, So, it's more than what these people are looking into and mentioning. So if you have, let's say you have a group of Moabite looking Jakes, but people consider them Moabites, and they starve, and they went through the famine or whatever. Well, those are Jakes, and we are not eating too well this day anyway. Still, all that Section 8 food, that's not real food. You know how people are rolled to eat. They have a whole damn plate, like that long table you see in Coming to America. And his father is one end table, and the son is at the other end table, and then they got all kind of luxurious, food all down the table. Jake don't eat like that. All that slop of so-called soul food with pork and crab and chitlins, that ain't food, man. And it says, that's another thing. It says, eat our bread among the Gentiles defiled, King James Version. It says, It says Ezekiel 4:13. It says, and the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whether I would drive them. You know, and sometimes even Jake in this present day 90s, well, 87, they didn't have nothing in their refrigerator. Some of those Jakes had nothing but, baking soda and a couple of a couple of, you know, chicken nuggets in the refrigerator. You know, these Jakes think that minimum wage is $10 an hour. No, minimum wage is, I've mentioned it before, 250,000 a year. It might be more now. So just because these people that speak from the, like Pastor Hart always mentioned, these theologian schools, these theologian cemeteries, they try to call them seminaries. They're speaking from their own personal point of view as far as them being somewhat wealthy, or having a good, pretty decent life, a pretty decent financial, um, income, pretty stable. You can't listen to those guys because they're gonna look from the wrong perspective. What did it say? What did Yahweh Shai? He came humble and meek. He came on an ass. He didn't come was a rich man with satin clothing and that of a king. So if you in a king's seat in this present day, and you're trying to interpret the Bible, or try to, you most likely are not gonna read it right, because you're trying to personalize it with your own life, and that's not what the Bible is. It's not a personal book to where you could you fit your life to the book. No, you know. This is about prophecy and what has already been ordained before you were even born, man. So you can't twist it to make it fit your life. Well, I'm not under the curses. Well, you curse because you don't know the truth. It's another side of a curse too, that you don't know the truth, and you're not in the fold of the house of David, because you're not teaching according to the truth and what's in the book. And you're drawing your point of views and your maybe opinions, or whatever you think it is, your own truths. You're drawing it from the grounds of America only, and not going into. That's why the apostles always talk about going into history, secular history, and even language, because that's a thing too. And it says you will speak. That's a part of the curses too. A tongue thou shalt not understand. A tongue thou shalt not understand, King James Version. Deuteronomy 28:49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. When we came over here, we didn't know how to speak English. They broke it into us. A lot of these, even native Gadite tribes, they still speak, their tribal tongue. And they, of course, they probably bilingual. They know, bilingual with it. They know English too. And like I keep on saying, this is not even the original English language over here in America. This is way watered down, and it's confusing. So yeah, we are under the curses, and for so-called black men to try and try and try and try to climb up and try to do it right, and still fail. He could be the best one for the job. He could be the most intelligent at the job, most qualified, and he still get put on a back burner because of his skin color, and because of some racial matter of these devils hating on him. So you can't tell me, and that doesn't happen. It's not a common thing among these other nations, man. Tell me that's tell me otherwise, man. You'll be a liar. That's why you got phrases like black after dark. What do you call it? Being a nigga after dark or something, or you know, or what's another one? Um, the light skin and dark skin thing. The blackface thing, the N word. Who can use it? Um, why is it offensive? Why they y'all can use it and we can't? Why how offensive is it? Should it be uh, thrown out? Nope. Nobody has bywords among them their nations like on that level, man. And then you got Jake coming up getting money, but he get robbed, or he either get robbed by his own people, or he get set up by the cop. You could be a decent man, you know, having a family, and if you know, let's say you win a sum of money or something, and you want to take it out of the bank, and they catch up with you, they see it somehow, and they're gonna be like, "Well, where's the receipts for this?" We're like, "Yeah, I just, this is, I've my parents left this for me, or this is my inheritance, what have you," and they might set him up, man. Or Jake been set up with drugs. What other nation? And these are people that didn't even really, do nothing. Of course, we know that scripture, whoever perished being innocent. But according to their laws, according to the American laws, they didn't do nothing. You got some Jakes that's still in jail today. I haven't heard of any other nation that's been put in jail to where they was put in there innocently, and then now through DNA, 30 years, 40 years later, out of their life being locked up, is now being released, and some are still in there because some Karen and lied on them, or some so-called white, judge was racist and sentenced them to that. You know, or you when right after slavery, you're not given you're not getting paid, and then when you do start making money, it's little, 2 cents an hour or whatever at these damn jobs, 5 cents, however they was getting paid, and then you're getting put in shacks. Go look at them shacks that they would put Jake in. Like, you can't feel good about that shit when you go to work and you come back to a shack knowing that you came from a family that worked hard in the fields picking cotton, sugar cane, and all that, and then you gotta go back to your shack, and then not only that, you gotta find a way to get a car. Not only that, you gotta find a way to take care of your children if you have them. And not only that, they break you. Read the Willie Lynch, man. Really, read the Willie Lynch letter for you coon ass niggas out there and coon ass Christians. And see, that's a hell of a curse, man. We were targeted to be destroyed just like today still is, man. Fuck out of here with that BS, man. Who you think you fooling, devil? You damn devils, man. Who the hell you think you fooling, man? Think you talking to little kids or something? Anyway, yeah, I think it's this guy that was saying Christians trying to go deep. That was put up by a brother though. Holy Bible defenders. Yeah, but he was. Come on, man. Anyway, we can go on into the subject all day, and we got more subjects to do. I want to do an MOTB vid, because they gonna say something about that too, Yeah, these Christians, They're trying to get deep. They failing miserably, horribly. It should be horrified, because Christianity is coonism. That's what it is. And devil worship. Anyway, I might mention this in the near future, go into some more, a little bit of it, and to some more, a little bit of more history. Anyway, hope it was edifying. Shalom.